Let me get a timer. Okay, I'm good. There are more than 1 billion people are speakers of some form of Chinese. By seeing this figure, Chinese should have appeared long enough for its evaluation and let it spread to different areas in which Chinese become the dominant language. The origin of Chinese is studied through bone and the tortoise shell inscription, because the earliest records were marked on them in around 1300 BC. They are the earliest record founded um, can be used for analysis. The development of Chinese also based on those findings. And there are three stages in developmental of Chinese language. They are Old Chinese, Middle Chinese, and the Modern Chinese. For each stage, it can be further divided into different intervals. However, some of the bone and the shells were not perfectly preserved, so there is no adequate information was available for analysis. And there is a deep discrepancy between different reference concern time. So there's no exact boundary could be made between each development stage, and there is only a rough estimation made by those who study the history of Chinese language. And due to the lack of data, most description of family relationship among Chinese language are based on the impressions. So the history of Chinese is a very long story, and it need to further start it in the future. And I'm done with that.
Gotcha. So what I'm hearing is like Chinese languages are like a global language that is spoken by many speakers, but it's evolved over the ages, which three phases, and the language
Yes.
basically developed and modernized over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool. And then I have a question for you as well. How do you think the Chinese language like impacts society today?
Um, like I think Chinese still have big influence in the Asian countries.
Okay.
Yes, for the like it influence the Japanese and Korea Korea.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, I totally understand that. Cool. Sounds
Thanks.
good.
So, how you did a really good job explaining like everything, very well. And Hans, I think that you definitely were nodding eye contact. Like you could tell that you were interested in what he was saying, as much eye contact as you can make over Zoom, but definitely like interested, not distracted by anything else that was going on. I think you asked really good clarifying questions, and like paraphrasing, just making sure that you understood everything that was being said to the best of your ability, which shows that you were actively listening and like trying to learn more. I think maybe like a few more open-ended questions that he could have answered, but you did ask a really good open-ended question about what he thought, or how he thought the language was like developing today. So yeah, I think you did a really good job as an active listener.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so we'll reverse roles now. So I'll be the speaker, and then who's the listener?
Me.
Okay, and then how you can be the observer.
Awesome.
Okay, let me set my timer. 2 minutes, okay. And I'm ready when you guys are. You guys ready?
Yep.
Yes.
All right, sounds good. Timer is started. All right, since you guys know, today is Super Bowl. Today is one of the biggest events in U.S. sports, global sports. It attracts so many viewers, people in attendance. It attracts so many people. It's like one of the world's biggest sporting events. But since we're in a global pandemic, how does COVID affect one of the world's biggest sporting events? So in order to accommodate everyone, Tampa has created a lot of COVID guidelines, safety guidelines, to make sure everyone is safe and healthy. So first of all, the capacity of the stadium is 100,000. It's been limited to 25,000 with social distancing guidelines and other measures to make sure everyone is safe. everyone in attendance will get a personal kit with a mask, hand sanitizer, etc. And then everyone will also be social distanced every 4 seats. So you won't be like right next to someone, you'll be every 4 seats. And then around the city, parties have been limited to 10 people. If there's like 10 or more people, there will be fines placed for like going against COVID guidelines because it's like government policy. And there's no large gatherings happening like at the bars or restaurants or anything like to ensure everyone is safe, but still having a good time. So like many of the governors, mayors have like said that to like ensure everyone is safe and stuff, make sure like everyone stays home and just have a little hangout instead of like big parties for the Super Bowl. What else?
Nice.
Oh, for player safety. So player safety was basically for COVID, both teams were in a personal bubble to make sure they were not like in contact with outsiders. So they would just go straight from the practice facility to the hotel. So that way COVID would not be like spread around in the game because they're so close to each other.
Nice. So do you think that one, do you agree with them still hosting the Super Bowl with like people coming? And two, do you think that they're doing enough to keep people safe, or they're doing too much? What do you think about all that?
I actually feel like they're doing a little bit too much because, like, since the capacity of the stadium is 100,000, they should at least have it like 50% capacity, so therefore, like, they can still get their profit and everything. Because for Super Bowl bidding process, it's a large, expensive process for the like whoever hosts the Super Bowl. So I feel like Tampa Bay is actually losing out on money for hosting the Super Bowl because of the pandemic. So I feel like they can make a little bit more profit, but I guess health is a priority.
Yeah, that's true. I can agree with that. Yeah.
Yep.
Alrighty.
Cool.
Do you have any feedback, Hal?
Yes, I think I can know you very carefully listen to the hand's speech, and you gave him good eye contact and reaction to his speech. And also you gave a very good question at the end and to qualify what you concern. Yes. Yes. Good.
Right. Thank you.
All right.
Okay,
Now,
so I will speak next and how you're listening to me, right?
Yes.
I will be the observer.
Okay, awesome. So I just wanted to actually let me start my timer before just to make sure. Okay. So I just wanted to talk about like COVID safety at Purdue, talking about like dining halls and how, well, two different things. So I think one thing in the dining halls is that I know there's only 1 or 2 dining halls that are actually allowing people to eat inside of them, which I think is kind of not the best way to go about things, just because it is so cold outside and people, like, we can't eat outside like we did in the summer, and it's kind of forcing us to go back to our rooms or back and eat by ourselves, which like doesn't really encourage anyone socializing and like making friends, making that community that Purdue is all about. I also think that a lot of people are going to eat in the dining halls, in the lobbies anyways, so I feel like it's kind of that same system of like we're all just going upstairs to a lobby instead, which doesn't really make sense when there's tables downstairs. So I feel like if you just come in with like someone that you probably are friends with, not really needing to be social distanced from, then you should be able to eat with them. And then I also was thinking about the hours that the dining halls have, which usually I think almost all of them are 11 to 2 or 11 to 2:30. And I think that they should extend those hours because I know personally I have a lot of classes from like 11:20 or 11 whatever all the way to like 2:45, 3, like that are back to back, so I don't have time to go grab food, and by the time I come back the dining halls are closed. So I feel like if they extended those times, then not everybody would be there at the same time, which would just honestly be safer for COVID in general, and more people would have the chance to eat at the dining halls and not have to like worry about their classes and where they're going to eat the food and all that stuff. So yeah.
So I know you said people will go to the upstairs, like the lobby, to eat food, so they still will keep the social distance.
Yeah, so right now, like a lot of lobbies, like I live in Hillenbrand, and a lot of people just eat in the lobbies anyway. Like nobody really cares. It's basically like eating in a dining hall. Like we're all at the same tables, like right by each other. So I feel like if no one really says anything about us eating in the lobby, then I feel like they should just let us eat in the dining halls anyways. Because I feel like it's kind of the same concept of all of us
Yeah.
sitting in one room at tables eating. But yeah.
Cool. So I think how you did a pretty good job. Your body language was good. You asked a few follow-up questions. Maybe some rephrasing or restating would be a better idea. So make sure like you understand the content better. But other than that, I don't see any problems. It's a pretty good job.
Thank you.
Nice. Alrighty.